John just found
I don't know.
He said, yeah, he's a man, he's gonna pay $700 a year to vote for Japanese sailors. I don't think so.
Hey, Scott.
He has runs here tickets. He
TV's
said,
off.
one for, not the NASCAR one, the smaller races.
There we go.
Wow, that's quick work.
Good
It
job.
was on, it was just blank.
Well, that's slower, he says. I never went to the race. I said, I'm sitting there going, room, I go crazy sitting there. They sit in the sun? I don't think so.
Let's see where I sit. I get seats in the shade.
Oh, okay, that
So
ain't
when the
bad.
race
then.
started.
But it's still 90,
Right.
it's still hot in the shade. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call the October 5th, 2020 Crest Hill City Council meeting to order. If everyone would please rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ray Solomon.
Here.
Glenn Conklin.
Present.
Scott Dyke.
Here.
John Verche.
Here.
Barbara Scolaire.
Here.
Claudia Gazal.
Here.
Tina Oberlin.
Present.
Marco Coli Petro. Nate Albert.
Here.
Joe Kubal.
Here.
Okay, I did receive a text from Alderman Cola DiPietro this afternoon. He is unable to be with us this evening due to a prior commitment, so he is excused. You have before you the minutes of the regular Crest Hill City Council meeting held on September 21st, 2020. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Sclair, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal for the approval of the minutes of the September 21st Crest Hill City Council meeting. Questions or comments? Roll call,
Joe
please.
Kubal.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Motion carries.
You also have before you the minutes of the City of Crest Hill work session held on Monday, September 28th, 2020. Motion would be in order.
Second.
We have motion by Alderwoman Sclair, seconded by Alderman Albert for the approval of the work session minutes held on September 28th, 2020. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Joe Kubal.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we do not have a business promotion this evening, so we will move on to our City Administrator, Heather McGuire. Good evening, Heather.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have one agenda item for consideration this evening. This was discussed at the September 28th work session, and this is authorization to replace the computers with the CARES Act funding that we will be applying for. This would be seeking to replace 22 total computers. That's 15 base model as well as 7 mid-grade laptops for the remaining computers for staff.
Now, if there's other ones that you want to replace at a later date, what's the cutoff time to use that money?
We have until the end of the year, so through December 31st to apply for. So we can still have some discussions about if we do need to upgrade, change, or add additional equipment to that.
Thank you.
Motion would be in order.
So moved as presented. Second.
We have motion by Alderwoman Overland, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal for the approval of the computer replacements through the CARES Act. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Joe Kubal.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That was all I had for consideration this evening. The informational report is on file, but I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Any questions of City Administrator?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I had asked you about a property that's been vacant, 1916 Center Street. I don't know if you had a chance to look into that.
Yep, I will check my notes and I'll get back to you and
All
give you
right.
information on it.
And then the other one on Broadway, I believe it's 1722. It has no address on it. The house across the street is 1723 Broadway, so it could be 1722, 1724. That's also another vacant property. So I'd like to know where we're at.
Okay, that
with-
one I think's the first one I heard about that one, so I'll check into that one, but I'll check my notes on the
Yeah, because
center
I've talked
and
with
let you know.
Kirk on it.
Okay.
All right.
Anyone else? All right, thanks, Heather. Moving on to Public Works Department, our interim Public Works Director, Mark Seifert. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have nothing formal for the agenda tonight. I did want to give Council an update on 2 items. The water tower, as you've noticed, is in the process of being sandblasted. The curtain was up last week. They were able to start early last week. it's progressing really well. I'm prayerful that the weather holds out and we can get at least the primer coat on prior to winter. And God willing, maybe we could get that the final coat on. But as we know, weather in northern Illinois this time of year, it could be 70 one day and 30 the next. So we will have to follow the specifications for paint. The other item is Alderman Dyke mentioned a couple weeks ago about a mobile message board. We just found out late last week that we are able to purchase a mobile message board and have it reimbursed through the CARES Act with Megan. So today Public Works purchased a mobile message board so we can have messages, click it or ticket, lock it or lose it, anything that we do need information out there. So with that, I will happy to answer any questions.
Good idea, Scott.
Thank you.
So in regards to the water tower, Mark, if they just get the primer on before the winter season breaks here, then they will come right back,
We are
hopefully in March?
As soon as the temperature breaks 40 consistently, we'd be the first one on their schedule. But as we had to break that 40 consistently, but we would be first on their schedule.
Good. Any other questions, Public Works? All right, thanks, Mark. Community Development Department, our Community Development Director, Scott McMaster. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I do not have any agenda items. I would like to update the City Council and the residents about Cafe de Casa, who people are starting to notice the sign there on Plainfield Road. I've spoken to them. They don't have a date to set for an opening yet, but they're working with our building department to set some inspections, and then hopefully they're looking at a couple of weeks down the road to being open. So that'll answer any questions.
Questions of Community Development?
They just opened new on Bolingbrook this week, so.
Yeah, he did tell me he was working on another location, correct?
Oh, how we coming with the addresses on those buildings out there on Division Street? Where out in the industrial area? No addresses out there yet. I go out there, I sit out there and I look and I see a truck go real slow, just about stops. People behind them are tooting the horn, people are passing them up over there. The truck driver goes down the street, comes back out again, goes to the next street and goes down that road. We gotta get some kind of address or names up there in those buildings.
Yeah, so Alderman, that is the one that some of the businesses do have very large lettering on there. The other ones are in compliance with our ordinance, so we have requested that they add some additional big block lettering, but unfortunately with the way our ordinance is written, they are in compliance. We can't make them change it, so we have asked them to do that just for visibility, but they are not currently doing anything wrong per our ordinance. So all we can do is request that they do that.
Look at Frito-Lay, you can't see the address or name on a Frito-Lay building. The Rich's there has no address out there or nothing from Division Street. You can't see nothing.
So they have to have their address face the street that their address is on, and they all currently do have that. So, like I said, we have asked them if they would be willing to put some additional lettering up, but that's the most that we can do.
One of these days we're gonna have a wreck on that street. Because these trucks are slowing down, just about stopping to look at where they're going, and people behind them are tooting the horn, they're passing them up in a no passing zone. The truck driver goes down the road, he turns around, comes back out, goes down the next street, goes down that street, comes out and goes the other way.
And if we've got
Gotta have
some,
signs.
if we've got some traffic concerns out there, we can certainly add some maybe extra patrol just to make sure that we don't have any issues with that, and maybe some enforcement.
We'll also follow up with some of the, there was a couple that did agree to put larger numbers on their buildings. We'll follow up with them to see where they're at in that process.
Well, the ones I look at don't have anything on, you can't see it from Division Street.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Scott.
You-
Police Department, our Police Chief, Ed Clark. Good evening, Ed.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I have one item on the agenda this evening. It is a request to place a stop sign at Jared at El Dorado. Alderman Albert brought it to our attention. We did some speed cart data there in that area. We also looked at crash data. We discussed it at last week's work session, and per that discussion, I'm formally requesting to place that stop sign on Jared at El Dorado.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Okay, motion by Alderman Albert, seconded by Alderman Kubal for the installation of a new stop sign on Jared at El Dorado. Questions or comments?
And Mayor, just a quick comment. Just like I mentioned at the work session, not necessarily about speeding or traffic crashes, just trying to be proactive at a T intersection where a sign was never placed in the beginning. So hopefully this will avoid any vehicle accidents there in the future. Thank you.
Ray, just another quick comment on this. I've had very little exposure to that particular intersection, but I'd like to thank Alderman Albert for bringing it to our attention here, and Chief Clark following up with some stats, and it sounds like a good idea and might avoid a bad situation in the future.
Anybody else? Roll call, please.
Scott Dyke?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes,
Barbara Scoler?
Yes.
Claudia Gazal?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Joe Kubal?
Yes.
Nate Albert?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The other item we did discuss at the work session, I will be bringing back to you. The company that I sent it to is currently making the design for us. It's going to be a smaller sign. They recommend now an 18-inch sign if we're going to place it on a post with other signs. But I'll bring it before you with some options to look at.
Well, that's like a half the size that we.
I know what we had talked about.
We
Yeah.
said 36 inches originally.
Yeah. So I'll give you some options.
it'll look similar to what's in Lockport then, huh?
Correct.
Okay.
And a lot of that has to do with IDOT with the signage, and you don't want something that's going to be bigger than the actual traffic control device, so.
Any other questions?
Yeah, any updates on the stop sign for,
We're gonna be placing that speed
Seagulls
card
on
out there,
Lomita?
and we'll have it for a couple weeks in both directions, so I can get a good read on it.
okay, thank you. Another thing, I want to thank you for cleaning that graffiti. A lot of the moms were excited and happy
Good,
about that.
good, took like 10 seconds.
Thank you.
Yeah. The other item I had for city council on that and the residents is, we're gonna be conducting traffic details starting in October. This is gonna be part of our STEP grant. The focus in October is going to be on occupant protection. So if you see a lot more traffic in the area and a lot more traffic stops, that's one of the reasons. That's all I had.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Moving on to the mayor's report. I do not have any agenda items. Report is in your packet. Just comment on three quick things. My wife Vicki and I had the honor and privilege of being invited to the Holy Vespers Mass for our new bishop, Bishop Ronald Hicks of the Diocese of Joliet. That was actually the vigil the night before his ordination. It was last Monday evening. It was a very solemn occasion. So with the Diocese of Joliet having its home office in the city of Crest Hill, we certainly want to welcome Bishop Hicks, Bishop Ronald Hicks, as the sixth bishop of the Diocese of Joliet, which covers 5 other counties surrounding us. So I look forward to building a relationship with Bishop Hicks going forward here, and we certainly want to welcome him to the city of Crest Hill and for a long and healthy stay here as Bishop of the Diocese of Joliet. Secondly is in regards to the census enumerators are now finished going door to door. However, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S. Census Bureau has extended the opportunity for each and every resident to turn in their census form either by mail or through the computer through October 31st. So we certainly ask, I will tell you that the numbers for Crest Hill are very good, but they could be better. So we're asking everybody that has not already filled out that form or emailed it to the Census Bureau to please do that, because it comes down to representation for the city of Crest Hill, comes down to funding for the city of Crest Hill for the next 10 years. So I ask for your cooperation in that. And also next Monday night, I am going to bring to council an excellent candidate to fill the vacancy with the resignation of Phil DeChara due to health reasons from the Police Pension Board, which was on May 1st. So we will have that. You'll have that opportunity to meet the individual and to ask any questions that you would like, and hopefully he'll be appointed at the next city council meeting on October 19th. That is all the things for the mayor. If anybody has any questions, I'll certainly try to answer them. Hearing none, we'll move on to our city clerk's report. Vicki Hackney. Good evening, Becky.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have no items on the agenda this evening. Just a reminder, I did get some great information from Lauren Staley Ferry, our Will County Clerk. regarding registering to vote. If you haven't registered, how you can go online, the grace periods. It's on her Facebook page. It's very informative that you can register to vote also the same day that you do vote. The last day to register with a deputy registrar or Maryland has to be postmarked by tomorrow, so just so residents know, but you can go online. So there's some great information through their office if anyone needs any assistance, and if not, feel free to reach out to us and we can direct you. And that's all the information I have this evening.
Questions of City Clerk? Thanks, Vic.
Thanks, Ray.
Moving on to our Treasurer's Report. Glenn Conklin, good evening, Glenn.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would like to report our regular and overtime payroll from September 14th, 2020 through September 27th, 2020 in the amount of $208,954.45. I seek your approval on our list of bills, which in that same time period total $792,434.22.
So moved as presented.
Motion by Alderwoman Overland, seconded by Alderwoman Sclair for the approval of the list of bills. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Joe Kubal?
Yes.
Nate Albert?
Yes.
Scott Dyke?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes.
Claudia Gazal?
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all for that. I'll entertain any questions. Any questions of City Treasurer?
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Glenn. Moving on to unfinished business, we have nothing on the agenda. Anyone? Under new business, we have one Plan Commission recommendation. You have the information in your packet. It is an ordinance approving a variation to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property. It is the petition of Commonwealth Edison. With that, I will ask our Community Development Director, Scott McMaster, to come to the podium to give us some background information in regards to the variance request from ComEd. Scott?
Thank you, Mayor. As I'm sure you're aware, to the west of the Hillcrest Shopping Center is that ComEd substation. They're looking to put a protective firewall along Theodore Road there to protect any residents or passersby in case something should happen at that substation. They're looking to deviate from the variance of 4 feet of a fence to 15 feet and 8 inches. There is a representative here from ComEd if you have any questions for him, but I'll answer any questions that I can right now.
Are there any questions from City Council to Scott first up? Okay. If the representative from Commonwealth Edison will please step to the podium. Just your name for the record, sir.
Good evening. My name is Dave Cook. I'm with DB Sterling. We're a consultant working for Commonwealth Edison.
Good evening, Dave. So can you give us a little background information there, City
Sure.
Council, in regards to this case?
Sure. Scott did a great job. It's strictly a request by ComEd as a safety measure to protect any passerbys or any vehicles, heaven forbid something happen at that substation at a future date.
So this is strictly a safety issue?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions from City Council? Anything else you'd like to add, Dave?
No, other than thank you for the opportunity to present our request.
Okay. Let me ask 3 times to anyone in the audience if anyone would like to speak for or against the request of Commonwealth Edison for a substation firewall located at 2001 Theodore Street. Please step to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Second request, if anyone would like to speak for or against case V-20-1-8-1. The applicant is Commonwealth Edison for a substation firewall to be located at the property of 2001 Theodore Street. Please step to the podium, state your name for the record, and your address is optional. And a third request, if anyone would like to speak for or against the request of Commonwealth Edison for the property located at 2001 Theodore Street, case V-20-1-8-1. Please step to the podium, state your name for the record, your address is optional. Let the record show that no one has approached the podium to speak for or against the request of Commonwealth Edison. With all the questions being answered, Council, you have before you an ordinance approving a variation to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property. The petition of Commonwealth Edison, in which the Plan Commission also recommends approval. Motion would be in
So
order.
moved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Overland, seconded by Alderman Verche. for an approval of the ordinance approving variation to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of Commonwealth Edison. Questions or comments from anyone? Roll call, please.
Barbara Scoler,
Yes.
Claudia Gazal,
Yes.
Joe Kubal,
Yes.
Nate Albert,
Yes.
Scott Dyke,
Yes.
John Verche,
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance number is 1848.
Okay, you're good to go, David?
Thank you.
Thank you. Hopefully that we'll never need to use this, but for a safety reason, I think it was the right choice from city council. So,
We appreciate it. Thank you much.
Thank you.
okay, the other request was rescinded, so that was the only agenda item that we have on the docket. Is anybody else under new business? Committee liaison reports. Anyone from city council for committee or liaison report? The mayor will go. This will be for the Crest Hill Veterans and Police Memorial Committee. We will meet next Tuesday, October 13th at 9 a.m. for the fall cleanup of the Memorial Garden. It will be to cut down all daylilies, to put the planters away, to pick up some weeds and kind of winterize it for the winter season that will come here very shortly on us. So if anyone would like to help, it is strictly a volunteer basis. We will take all volunteers that are willing to give us a couple hours. That's about all it will take, about 2 hours to clean up the garden. So if anyone would like to add that to their list of community service, we ask that you please show up and help us on Tuesday, October 13th at 9 a.m. Moving forward, city council comments. Positive city council comments, anything you'd like to share with any of your constituents. We will begin tonight with Ward 1 Alderman Verche.
Nothing this time, Mayor.
Alderman Dyke.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Ward 2 Alderwoman Sclair.
Nothing at this time.
Alderwoman Gazal.
Just a reminder, October is the breast awareness cancer. Go ahead and check yourself, take advantage of this opportunity. I lost my mom because of breast cancer, and just go and do it. Thank you, Mayor.
Ward 3 Alderwoman Oberlin.
Well, I'd like to remind everybody who is going to participate in the Halloween festivities for the children this year that these lovely signs are available to download on our website. They're also available in the city clerk's office. And thank you, Heather, for doing this when I requested it. I have passed out many in my neighborhood, and they were all really excited to have them. So if anybody wants them, you can either download it yourself and print it, or you can pick it up here in our city clerk's office. They have some printed up there for you. So thank everyone for that.
Ward 4 Alderman Albert.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to give a little shout out to the residents that live over on Carlton Drive. There's 3 residents over there at 21526, 21522, and 21520 that have all decorated their front yards for Halloween. It's a great looking display. You can't miss it. It's in the Cambridge Crest subdivision, which is south of Division, north of Caton Farm on Carlton Street. So as soon as you come off of Gaylord, it's right on the left-hand side. I've been driving through there quite a bit, and they've been adding it for the last few weeks, and it's a real nice display. So shout out to those people.
And there's many more people putting out Halloween decorations now.
Yeah, and I think we'll have a good turnout for Christmas as well. So I'm excited about that, obviously.
Oh yeah, that'll be coming soon, Nate.
And Mayor, one thought that I have is you may be able to get more people to the cleanup if you tell them that you're buying lunch.
I usually do.
For Veterans Day, for the Memorial Garden there. Thank you, that's all I got.
Social distancing, of course.
Right.
Yeah, we will be wearing masks and social distancing. Alderman Kubal.
Ray, I'd like to take a moment to notify the residents of Crest Hill, particularly those with families, young families. The Park District will be bringing a double feature to Crest Hill's Hassert Park again on Friday night, October 23rd. The doors open there, the gates open at 5:30, and if you want any more information, I'd go ahead and contact the Park District or check out their website.
Do you know what the movie is?
No, I don't. It's a double feature. I'm sure it'll be a Halloween theme.
Okay. All right, thank you. All righty. Public comment. Anyone that would like to address city council, please step to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Let the record show that no one has approached the podium. To our city administrator, Heather McGuire. Heather, is there a need for an executive session?
Yes, there is, Mayor, under 2C11 for pending litigation.
Motion would be in order.
So moved as presented.
Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Overland, seconded by Alderman Dyke for an executive session. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Nate Albert?
Yes.
Joe Kubal?
Yes.
Claudia Gazal?
Yes.
Barbara Scoler?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes.
Scott Dyke?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we'll be going into executive session at 7:26 PM.